Welcome to the Emerging Lawyer at the Coffee Conversation Show, powered by the Emerging India Forum TIF and our tech partner, Prime Infotech Solution. Theme is structuring success, depth, fintech, and the legal expertise. We have with us Smit Parekh, Senior Associate at Juris Corp and a specialist in debt, capital markets, fintech laws, and securities laws. With a career spanning advisory roles in rupee-denominated bonds, green bonds, foreign portfolio investments, Smith is at the forefront of shaping India's financial legal landscape. Beyond his professional accolades, Smith brings a keen eye for detail and a passion for guiding corporates and financial institutions through complex regulatory frameworks. So, Smith, welcome to today's coffee conversation.
Thank you so much for inviting.
So, friends, we're at AWFI's co-working space, and on afternoon we will delve into his professional, personal. So, Smith, there is a surprise round. That is the rapid fire round, for which you have to be witty, fun, and quick. And only you will get to win this your gift. Your book. That's autograph also.
Thank you.
But I know you will do that. So, friends, I'm Lion Amir Virani, host at Coffee Conversation and a legal tech evangelist at Prime Infotech Solution, author of 15 books. We help law firms, corporate legal, startup and SMEs with world-class technology, software licensing, and tech training solutions. So my first question, Smith, from a legal trainee to a senior associate, how has the journey been till date?
So I would say the journey was quite a bit of a roller coaster. When I was a legal trainee, I joined Juris Corp, and that particular point of time, it was juggling between studies, college, and work. So I used to actually run from my college after the break, and I used to attend my work. So that point of time, I used to be just wondering that it's just a bit of a very tedious task to make sure that your attendance is not missed out, and you are also finishing the tasks assigned to you at work. But over the period of time, it evolved. My role kept on changing from time to time. Once I graduated out of my law school, it became much different. I was thrown a lot of responsibilities at myself, and it was about learning new things. I had to adopt from my seniors. So after I passed out from college, it became more challenging, but I think I adopted well from my seniors, my mentors. And then, as and when I kept on practicing what I've been doing, it helped me understand how things are working, how the legal knowledge is important, and after that, how important it is to even deal with the clients and understand what their requirements are. So I think every day is a new learning, and it's been a great journey till now.
Wow. So let's dive into the conversation. You specialize in debt capital markets, fintech laws, and securities laws. So, which of from among these excites you and why?
So I think securities law is something that is very interesting, and I've been so to actually give you a little bit of a background. When I started my law journey, when I joined Juris Corp, that time I was very clueless about what securities law is. So from the very first day, the HR came to me and told me that we have vacancies in banking and finance and securities law. So that's when we had to pick up our choices. And since that day, I started reading more about securities law, and that's how I started figuring out things. But it was a new day to learn, and it was actually very interesting because there were things I so to give a more background, I was pursuing BCom before this, and I was pursuing CA. So I had a little bit of a knowledge and know-how about financial markets. That's where my interest lied. And after that, so the HR had told me that there are vacancies in securities law practice and banking and finance practice. So that's what I had to pick up. And from day one, I was very keen in knowing about what securities law is. And it was actually interesting, and nothing bored me ever to understand new concepts. It was actually great because when I started, I got a lot of time to read about the laws that I'm going to be dealing into. That was really very helpful. And then slowly and steadily, I was given new assignments, new life transactions to work upon, which actually helped me uh, figure out what my interests were. And there was a time when I actually was put into a transaction directly with the partner where I figured that, okay, now I have to either be very smart about what I'm doing or else I'm going to be thrown out. And that's where I actually found it was like a do or die situation. So I was actually able to close that transaction and give every answer that my partner had expected. So I think securities law in general is very dynamic, and that's something that I'd want to continue doing.
Beautiful. Okay. So, Smith, you have been part of the rupee-denominated bond transactions. So, I want for viewers out there, okay, what is this rupee-denominated bond transactions, and how does this transactions go about? And so that will help us because this is very technical term oriented for the viewers out there. And how does it happen? Who are the two parties involved, and other details.
Right. So see, what I practice on a daily basis and largely is debt transactions. So any company that is borrowing, that is called as a debt. Borrowing can happen by way of loans, that what we usually are aware of. And then comes a capital market angle to it, where you are borrowing by way of borrowing through a instrument that is listed on the stock exchange. So that's what debentures stands for, that you are having an instrument by which you'll be borrowing, and these instruments can be traded over the stock exchange, or if it is an unlisted transaction, then it can be transferred to one party to another. That's the main essence of debentures as compared to loan. So the listed bonds are going to be traded between parties over the exchange, and unlisted bonds can be traded from one party to another. That is the main essence of debentures as compared to a loan. So what we do is we help a lot of companies in the market who are wanting to access capital markets and wanting to have debt on their books, and we help them understand what is the essence of debentures, what is the benefit of having a listed, unlisted borrowing, what, and if it is an investor, we help them understand how can there be difference between a listed bond and an unlisted bond and a loan for their borrowings.
Wow. So let's go to the next interesting bond, the green bonds. Are they in green color? Jokes apart, because they're an emerging trend. Can you share your experience advising clients in this space and its impact on the market?
Sure. So actually, you are right. Green bonds are coming up, and not only green. In fact, we have yellow bonds, we have blue bonds, a lot of colorful bonds that are getting introduced in the market. So I would say that this is a new initiative by SEBI towards I think enhancing and introducing this concept in India towards sustainable financing. They are wanting to have more and more people participate in this global initiative where people are actually taking financing more seriously and giving importance to environment, social, and governance. So ESG, as you would be aware, that is very it's a very hot topic right now. So SEBI is also moving towards that, and they are encouraging a lot of people to start coming up with this. So to just give a little bit of a background, what these colorful bonds are, when we say green bonds, it relates to something that is wanting to borrow money and they are into a renewable source of business. Let's say renewable finance energy, these EV companies and all. When it comes to yellow bonds, it's something in relation to solar companies when they are borrowing. Any borrowings made by them or bonds issued by them would be called as solar bonds. Of course, it depends upon the investor and other concepts related to it. Similarly, anything that's got to do with water, that's called as water or marine, that's called as a blue bond. So while this concept is still emerging in India and a lot of people are getting to know about it, India is yet to cope up with global standards on that side, but it's good initiative that has been introduced by SEBI for this.
That's very interesting. So I've started thinking to plan a couple of things. Like we have done panel discussion on ESG. I'd like to do a panel discussion on this emerging bonds with ये we did Coffee director legal from Ola Electric. Uh, so that side will be covered, and we have ESG expert also, Sonal Verma. So
Okay.
let's bring three of you and how this will impact the market and how companies can take benefits and become more socially responsible through this ESG. That will be very interesting. This bond
Definitely.
things and yeah. So
Yeah, I think there should be awareness around this.
yeah. So let's build up. Okay. So Smith, how do you approach advising foreign portfolio investors on navigating India's debt segment regulatory framework?
So FPIs, foreign portfolio investors, play a huge role in Indian market. Their contribution to the Indian debt market has been great. In fact, it is encouraged that a lot of FPI investment is happening in India. That their investment in India has actually deepened the corporate bond market in India. So what we do is essentially we advise a lot of FPIs who are getting or setting up their business in India for the first time. We have helped a lot of FPIs figure out what are the norms in India, understanding each and every line of how it works, what are the regulatory requirements, what are the compliance requirements, what could be possibly be there if they do not meet up to any of these requirements. So it's basically explaining ABCs of investments in India to any FPI. So from that aspect to coming to the other side, we are regularly advising a lot of FPIs who are pretty much established in the Indian market. They have been in India since the time FPIs have been introduced, and working with them actually is very interesting because they come up with a lot of interesting structures, a lot of complex transactions, and meeting up to their requirements, understanding their requirements because they come from a global market is very interesting. And our role has been quite crucial in advising them, helping them close the transactions. And of course, when you're dealing with such institutional investors, you have to be on your toes and you have to be very prompt. You have to be very quick in terms of understanding and knowing your concepts very well. So it actually adds a lot to your experience when you're dealing with these institutional investors.
Very true. So that was foreign portfolio investors. Let's come to Indian corporates. As someone deeply involved in structuring advisory for Indian corporates, what are the biggest challenges you face in today's volatile financial markets?
So actually, when you are asking me this question, I could remember my recent conversation with a few clients. I understand that right now there are a lot of volatilities that we are able to see in the Indian market, especially on the debt side. We are seeing that the default rates are increasing. So, see, what I would say is a lot of big time NBFCs, a lot of big time financial institutions are the ones who are always involved in structuring complex transactions. The Indian norms and Indian statutory framework is actually evolving day by day. So having these new concepts in the market actually creates a lot of arenas for investors to find new products for their money, and it actually creates an instrument for the borrowers to borrow money, which is actually crucial for Indian economy to grow. So, yes, while dealing with Indian corporates, it's actually interesting and helpful to create these complex transactions and advise them over that.
Wow. So let's dive more into the conversation. Can you discuss how alternative investment funds, the AIFs, are shaping investment opportunities in India, and how clients are taking to this route of investment?
So I think ever since AIF has been introduced, the finance market has actually seen a lot of growth, and AIFs are actually it's a very interesting structure. The AIF investment in India is an important tool for the financial institutionals and financial entities to borrow money. Uh, we see that a lot of interesting after, especially after the gift city has been introduced, and you know a lot of funds have been set up over there. So I think having investments and advising AIFs is something that is always going to be evolving.
Beautiful. So let's go to next dynamic question. You have handled advisory work for offshore banks. How do you ensure seamless collaboration between multiple jurisdictions and legal systems?
Yes, so I think that's an interesting question that you asked. When you're advising foreign banks, you have to actually keep a lot of things in mind. Firstly, you have to make sure that what you are aware of law is amply clear, because especially when you're communicating with different jurisdictions, it could be that they have a different preset or pre-notion in their head because of their local laws. So explaining to them our basics is very important and crucial for them to understand how Indian markets work. Other than that, when we are advising these foreign banks, it's basically to help them understand what is allowed in India, what is not allowed in India. And this becomes very important for them because this is the basis for them to structure their policies. This is the basis for them to structure their investments, for them to understand and plan their business when they're dealing with India. So we need to be very mindful about the advice that we give to them, about the stand that we are giving, because it's going to be basis and the foundation of their business. So we ensure that we are checking everything that is possible. Because I closely deal with SEBI laws, we make sure that we are having enough and substantive examples in the market before giving them an answer. We make sure that we check with every intermediary, with the exchange, with SEBI, with every licensed entity with respect to their actual practices before giving these kind of advices. So it helps us also understand a lot of financial aspects or business related aspects of how a client institution is working, because just knowing how how legal language is drafted, or just reading into regulations and acts is not going to help. You need to understand how this particular language of the act is going to be interpreted and put into business and action. So that is something which is very important while advising these people. So I think communication is the key. It has to be very transparent, and you should understand more about what their expectation is. I think what usually happens is people would close their whole transaction over email. I would suggest that you should have at least one introduction call to understand them, their business, their understanding, their language. It helps you break the ice.
Wow, beautiful. That was beautiful. Mm, yeah, call makes a difference, and you are seeing the other person remotely, but the expressions, the eye contact, and everything helps to break the ice, and then you can continue your conversation on calls, on WhatsApp, or whatever. But that icebreaker has to happen. That was a very
Absolutely.
beautiful. This is very much needed while
Right.
working on different jurisdictions. One of my coffee speakers said he does game sessions with
Okay.
the opposite counsels to
Okay.
break the ice with the client and with both,
Yeah,
and
I
come
think
to a common ground. So there is no bitterness, and everyone is working for a cause. That is,
absolutely.
bottom line is there, but relation is more important.
Absolutely.
So I got to know how lawyers are being like management experts working, developing their own systems.
Yeah, I think just it's not always about business. You need to understand the person, because at the end of the day, you need to know that everybody has a different thought to it.
Yeah,
So the more you understand a person, the more you'll be able to work with them.
beautiful, beautiful. Okay, my last two questions for your professional journey around Smith. Uh, who has influenced you or been mentor from the world of securities or debt financing laws?
I think this is a very interesting question because this brings a lot of names to my head. I wouldn't be able to name just one person.
Mhm.
Because of my professional requirements, I end up meeting and speaking to a lot of people. So I think every person that I talk to contributes to my understanding to what I'm wanting and brings a lot of clarity to what I want to become. Talking about my own organization, I have some wonderful partners in my organization, my senior partner. So every time I'm talking to them, it brings a lot of clarity as to what I should be working towards, what I should endeavor. When I'm talking to my clients who are like financial experts, who are like having a lot of experience and they have a lot of gray hair because they are dealing into this day in and day out, it makes me uh, learn a lot from them. So I think everybody contributes in some way or the other for your journey.
Wow. Okay. So, Smith, how has technology helped you and which legal tech tool has impacted your work?
I think technology is one of the most important aspects of law. Uh, Everybody has had that notion that lawyer is always roaming around with bulky papers, which has changed now because everything has become more digital. You don't have to have that background behind you where there are hundreds of books covered in a leather cover. That those days have changed now. Everything is on your phone, ipad, or your laptop. uh, Other than that, I think there are a lot of things that have changed. Earlier, people had a very difficult time in understanding what has changed in a document, and drafting has changed over a period of time. I think we, as a lawyer, adopt a lot of legal tools and technologies. I think one of the most important tool that has been with us is compare software. It's basically Litera that we've been using. It helps us compare documents, and that is something that we would want to do on a daily basis. We want to know what changes have been made by clients, what changes have been made by us. This is an important tool that we are using. We have also started adopting AI in our day to day work. We are exploring a lot of options in terms of how AI can be helpful. But of course, at the end of the day, human touch is always needed. We can't rely on technology all the time. So, yes, these two things are something that contribute a lot. Other than that, we have a lot of knowledge management softwares who help us be updated with latest updates, latest changes, latest amendments, latest news. So I think technology contributes a lot to our day-to-day activities and business.
Beautiful. So, Smith, what advice would you give to young lawyers aspiring to make a mark in securities law and debt capital or debt financing?
I would say this debt capital law and finance market is a quite niche practice.
Yeah.
When you are studying law and you are in your law school, we are exposed to a lot of different subjects. I would say and recommend that every aspiring lawyer should explore each and every field of law. I wouldn't recommend anybody to learn something, I mean, get into something and just stick to it forever. I myself had interned in multiple verticals of law, after which I found out that this securities law and finance law is something that I really like. So, and someone who's studying right now, I would recommend them to try every aspect: corporate law, litigation, criminal law. until and unless you've tried everything, you wouldn't understand what excites you the most. And I think with the dynamic business environment, being an expert in a niche area is something that should be helping one person in terms of finding their interest. So you can't be a person who knows everything and practices everything. You need to develop a specific area where you'll be an expert and everybody will come to you in the market. So if you like numbers, if you are somebody who likes to understand financial concepts, you should definitely try and explore the debt capital market practice, because that's something that I've personally liked. And I'm pretty sure that until unless you try, you wouldn't understand is it worth it or no.
So let's go to the next round, the personal round, and understand Smith as a person. Tell us about your family and your formative years.
So I come from a family where I am the first lawyer. I don't know anybody who has been a lawyer in my family. So when I actually told my parents that I want to pursue law, they were just trying to help me find somebody who could guide me in
Wow.
terms of how to mentor me and what law to take, what college to go. So that was something that was something new to my family. In fact, even I was not aware in my school days that I want to become a lawyer. When I passed out from my college, from my junior college, all my friends were pursuing CA. So I was just following them. And I thought that, yes, CA is something what I like. I actually even started pursuing it. But while studying and giving my exams, I realized that this is not something that I would want to do for the rest of my life. So that's how I stopped my articleship. In fact, 10 days before my entrance exam were scheduled, I signed up for the form. There was some extension that was available. So I signed up for that form. Somehow I was able to get my form submitted. And I prepared for my entrance exam in 10 days and I scored really well. And I got into PGCL, Praveen Gandhi College of Law. And so it happened all of a sudden within a month's time. I think my life changed from CA to law, but this is the journey that I loved.
Keep it up. That's interesting. Whatever work you want to do, you should have love for that.
Absolutely.
Then only you will enjoy and move ahead in that work life.
Yeah, I
That's
think
very-
everybody saw that in Three Idiots movie, that you should love what you do and you should do what you love.
Perfect. So let's go down memory lane and your experience, actions at PGLC, Praveen Gandhi Law College.
So Praveen Gandhi Law College, I think, has taught me a lot. When I joined Praveen Gandhi College of Law, I was not having any friends. It was because none of my friends were also pursuing law. So it was a place where I was all by myself. I had nobody known over there. But I made a lot of friends in my college years. I would recommend all the law students that these 5 years of law are, this is the only time where you'll be making a lot of friends and you will be making a lot of memories. So please invest time in finding friends, in doing a lot of social and cultural activities, uh, being a part of a lot of college events, because that is something that I did. I used to be a part of every college event, and of course that got me attendance also for a lot of things. And if you are coming from an SVKM family, that's something is very crucial. So I would recommend that do not miss out on any of these opportunities. And of course, also give importance to your career. Do a lot of internships, because just studying law and books and giving exams is not going to get you anywhere. You need a lot of practical experience also, because at the end of the day, that's what matters. It does not really impact much which college do you belong to if you're going to have good experience and good understanding of what you do.
Wow, beautiful. Okay, so Smith, uh, what hobby or passion helps you unwind after a challenging day of advising on structured products and compliances?
I think you're asking me about my every day, because every day is challenging and tiring. Coming from a corporate law background, as many hours you will work, you are going to find it less. So I really enjoy, after a heavy day and hectic day at work, I would just meet my friends. That's something that will help me unwind. I will come back home. I will give a call to any of my friend and just meet them up, talk about how my day was, and just rant about a lot of things that I don't think would be right for me to say over here.
Right.
And yeah,
I-
that really helps me get fresh and ready for the next day.
Wow.
I also really like driving, exploring, and doing some new adventures. While I've not done in a long time, but I really would want to go for a camping really soon.
Wow.
So yeah, that's something that I'd look forward to after a hectic day.
So put it in your bucket list for 2025 and go on a camping trip. So suppose I'm giving you, what do you say, 2 weeks time away from all the gadgets, away from the work, where you want to go for camping.
I would pick a place where I can just be under the sky and watch stars, because that's something that I would love to do. In fact, one of my group of friends, they had gifted me one camp night where we took a tent of our own and we just set it up on a random place on our way to Lonavala, and we made Maggie over there. We had our own snacks and games. So that's something that I'd like to do for 2 weeks.
Wow. So any particular site you have in mind where you want to go and do all these activities?
Actually, I would just randomly book some place. I mean, I'll book my tickets to some hilly area, not even having anything in mind, and just go there and explore as the
Wow.
day comes.
That's also a good way to explore and be there with nature and away.
Definitely.
Okay. So Smith, what's a fun fact about you that not many people know of?
A fun fact about me, I would say that I was a very introvert person earlier. If you ask any of my school friends, they will tell you that Smith is somebody who is very shy and he would never like speaking to anybody. But ever since I joined law and started pursuing my career, I think that has changed. So if you ask somebody from my childhood days, they would find it very hard to believe the kind of a person I am today.
Yeah, that's a good transformation you have gone through, and many more things will come in your life that we can see how you're handling the conversation right now. So, Smith, who's someone in a family or friend circle who has been your biggest cheerleader for your career, personal life, and professional life?
My parents have contributed a lot to my professional and personal life. They have always been there to support my decision. They have always approved of whatever I've asked for. So their contribution has been immense, and I'm very thankful for them. So yeah, I think they are the biggest contributors.
Wow. So, Smith, if you had to pick a movie, book, or web series that resonates with you and uh, helps, makes an impact on your work or your personal life, so which one would it be?
This would be a very cliche answer, because Suits is something that I've loved the most. It's a web series on corporate lawyers. So that's one of my favorite TV shows. And every time I am coming home after a tiring day, I would just switch on any random episode and just watch that until I sleep. And I think I do not find whatever they have set out in Suits that's something very different from a real life lawyer. But yeah, that's my go-to show to relax.
Wow. Okay. So my last one, which will be a googly, describe Smith in one line.
Describing myself in one line is a very difficult thing. I don't think I can finish describing myself in one line. Uh, I would say that I'm a person who is uh, a jugadu person. That's how my friends call me, because anything that they want in their life and something they want to crack it, they would call me saying that I'm stuck with this and I just want to get out of this. So just help me. So yeah, I can be a go-to person for everybody and help them get it out of it.
Wow. Okay. Let's have some fun. The rapid fire round. Corporate law or securities law?
Securities law.
Okay. Favorite Indian city?
Favorite Indian city is Mumbai. It's a love-hate relationship with Mumbai. So it is favorite and not.
Wow. You're a morning person or night owl?
I am a morning person. I will, no matter how tiring my day has been, I will every day wake up before my alarm rings.
Wow. Okay. A professional milestone that made you proud?
Getting recognized by IFLR twice in a row.
That's superb. Okay. Your go-to comfort food?
My go-to comfort food is Maggie. I am not advertising them, but yeah, every time I do not like something that is made at home, I'll just make Maggie and eat.
I have to call your mom. He's criticizing your food. Okay. Best dish made by your mom?
Best dish made by my mom, I would say everything, because it's hard to pick. I really look forward to my lunchtime in my office, because food is something that helps me just forget all my anger and frustration. And even my colleagues and friends at work are always telling me that if I'm frustrated about something, they figure out that I'm hungry and I'm wanting to open my mom's tiffin.
Wow. So, favorite Gujarati food dish?
Khandvi.
Your favorite color?
Blue.
Wow. Okay. Best piece of advice received?
Best piece of advice received. I would say anybody motivating me and acknowledging or appreciating something that I do is something that helps me keep going. So
Wow. So, tea or coffee or something else?
for this, I would say coffee.
Let's raise. So, you did well, and here's your gift.
Thank you so much.
Let me. It has been autographed because I know you will win.
Oh, thank you so much.
So, friends, it was a lovely conversation with Smit Parekh. One thing he said, कि भाई, passion, your interest makes you achieve things in your work. So, all those professionals out there have passion for your work, which will make you move ahead in your career. And if you want to have a career in securities and debt market, this is the episode which is to watch for. And all those companies who want for debt financing or securities or wants a Smith contact detail will be there in the captions of the YouTube episode at the Coffee Corner Show. Connect with him and at Juris Corp. There are more seasoned lawyers and it will really help you. So friends, there are over 350 plus coffee conversation episodes with different subject experts and themes. Subscribe, watch, and you will get inspired through their journey, not only from the professional side, but the personal side, which they keep themselves, how they ground it, have fun, creativity, all those things, that little nuances, which like apna work-life balancing, we get to know from different subject experts and coffee speakers. If you want to be featured like Smith, visit our LinkedIn company page, the Emerging India Forum, DM over there, our team will connect with you and invite you to be a guest speaker, sharing your experiences, your inspiring stories, or a cup of coffee. So take care. We meet with another coffee speaker. Thank you.